This is a continuation of the first video on ratio. I'm sure you've gone through that and have some good idea about what a ratio is. This time, I'm going to show you a mind map. A map that will help you learn all about ratio very quickly and remember and recall the information anytime you want. A mind map uses a lot of colors so that it's easy to remember what you have been taught because you've used a lot of colors. I'm also going to be using different colors for this map so that you can remember all the information easily based on the colors I have used. Now I'm going to start with red. What is a ratio? It is a relationship between two or more things. This relationship could be between objects, people, animals, or plants. You could also say a ratio is a comparison between two or more things. However, this comparison can happen only if there is something common between the two things that you are comparing. You could compare the quantity owned by the two things, or you could compare the number of parts owned by the two things. Now that you know what a ratio is, it's also important to learn how to write a ratio. There is a particular symbol that all of you often use in your English lessons called colon. Do you remember that? Yes. It is two dots written one below the other as shown here. You need to put the colon between the two numbers you are comparing. Secondly, the numbers you use to write the ratio are called terms. Every ratio must have two or more terms, and the colon must come between every two numbers. A ratio must always be expressed in its lowest terms. This is again a concept that I'm sure you would have learned while learning about fractions. Like in fractions, to find the lowest term of a given ratio, you must divide both the given terms by the highest common factor. Look here. The ratio between 30 and 80 is expressed as 3:8 because both 30 and 80 have 10 as their highest common factor, and when they are divided by 10, they become 3 and 8. The next point you must remember is, while writing a ratio, the numbers must be written in the same order as they appear in the story. Supposing you are looking at a ratio between 30 kg of rice that you have and 50 kg of rice that your friend has, the ratio between what you have and your friend has is 30:50 and not 50:30. This is because your quantity comes first in the story. The numbers used to express a ratio must be of the same kind. That is, you can have a ratio between two whole numbers or between two fractions, but not between one whole number and a fraction. The last point to remember is that ratio is unitless. What it means is the numbers can alone be compared and not the units that follow the numbers. For example, while writing a ratio between 30 kg and 50 kg, you can express it as a ratio only as 30:50 and not as 30 kg:50. Go through this map a couple of times and I'm very sure your understanding of ratio will be much better.